Am I wrong for asking to see my wife's phone? Happily married 15 years with 2 kids. Saturday night around midnight, she was showing me some videos on her phone when she got a message notification. She quickly swiped it away, though we both saw it. I didn't say anything, but decided to go to bed, already a bit annoyed at how she did it. I asked who texted her so late and was told, I don't know. Mentioned she should look to make sure someone didn't need anything. She then told me, it's a coworker from my old job asking why I'm up so late. She left that job 4 years ago. I said nothing, just rolled over and ended up mulling things over for hours. Finally had a discussion about it yesterday, after not even being able to look at her. Of course, my mind is going all over the place. I asked and the last time they chatted and she said a few months ago and that they occasionally congratulate each other on promotions and such. Fine. But then I discussed how she openly lied to my face, knowing full well who messaged her and that the totality of the circumstances was hard to accept as innocent. I reinforced that I was deeply hurt about being lied to in such an open and obvious situation. And now I am wondering if I'd be out of line asking to see the history of their conversations. I don't think she's physically cheated on me, as she works from home and life and kids keeps both of our schedules pretty full. But I'd be devastated if she had some sort of emotional affair outside of our marriage. So, would I be in the wrong to request to see her conversation? I don't need to see her entire phone. Just that one. And one step further, will I be the a-hole if I asked her to stop messaging this guy? I just think anyone reaching out at 12:15 a.m. to a married person like that is just looking for trouble. Help me out, Reddit. Mine's going a million directions and I'd like to either A. learn the truth or B. figure out how to repair this. Update 1. I began the discussion with, I have a shitty question and a shitty request to ask of you, but given the current situation, it's something that is festering in my mind. I then asked if the conversation was still in her phone. As many have suspected, it was not. She deleted. Why? Because I delete all old conversations. I then asked if I could see it, and she let me. It was all done via Facebook Messenger, so I attempted to find it in the archives, but it wasn't there either. I asked if she could click the messenger icon from his Facebook profile page and she broke down about it being such a shit situation. She vehemently denies any sort of inappropriate conversations, though admits there may have been innocent flirting in the past, which I'm fine with. People do it every day. She also says she hasn't exchanged any messages since at least October. But it took a lot for her to let me see the phone where there was a chance I find something more. To the point where I told her if I didn't see it, I'd assume the worst and would likely be looking for someplace else to stay the night. Not sure how to proceed from here. Trust is currently at an all-time low. And while I feel bad she's an emotional mess, it's a situation she put herself in, so I'm not overly compassionate about it. I wish there was another way to retrieve Facebook Messenger conversations, but as many said, it's likely long gone. I predict a long road ahead. I've already suggested some sort of counseling. Sucks that we've been almost entirely drama-free for the majority of our relationship, hardly ever fighting. And this is a huge bump, more like crater, in our road. I still don't think she's ever physically cheated on me. And her guilt and emotions makes me think she's telling the truth about any type of emotional cheating as well. We shall see. Only time will tell. Thank you all for the advice and insight. Hoping updates are positive and few and far between, if any. Update 2. Follow-up to a situation that occurred last weekend. We've had some discussion throughout the week. Tough to do with kids at home who listen to everything. Quick trip to pick up some food tonight. I decided it was a private place to have a rational, calm discussion. She started off by admitting that texts may have crossed the line 5 years ago, right after her father had passed. I told her that flirting was somewhat acceptable and we'd work on it in counseling. But that this was her opportunity to come clean and that if I found out more later, I'm out. The silence and tears welling up was all I needed. I asked her if she had sex and affirmed it occurred one time and never once since. So there it is. Out in the open. I remember how tough of a time it was she had when her dad passed. Her mental state was not great. I will not allow that to be used as an excuse, but I do have some compassion for her in that regards. It ruined her, and she still has a hard time with it. I asked if there's ever been anything ever besides that, and she is absolutely solid that it's the last time. We got home before I could ask a whole lot more questions. We'll have to wait till the kids are asleep. Biggest one being if they used protection, for my own sake. Going forward, I don't know, man. She's already said she feels like a complete piece of shit and wouldn't blame me for leaving. I've said I'm willing to attempt counseling, if nothing else more than to see if this is salvageable for the kids. We've been pretty solid for a long time. But damn, is this a gut punch of staggering levels for me. My other issues, during the ride there she basically lied via omission. Originally saying, texts may have crossed the line. Not until I grilled her did she open up. I'm also furious that she's continued to have some sort of contact with this guy since then, even if it was very sporadic. I'm very likely going to message the guy and tell him how I feel about this. I don't care if that part makes me the a-hole. It also hurts my soul knowing she'd have never come clean had I not seen that text. So Reddit, you were right, my worst fears have been confirmed. Wife cheated 5 years ago. Wish you weren't right. This fucking blows. Where we end up, no one knows. Sharing the worst week of my life with Reddit sure has been something else. Final update, she admitted to cheating 5 years ago, and has continued to sporadically talk to him since then. Besides the text last weekend that got her caught, October was the most recent time. And she claims prior to that was almost a year more. Supposedly they talked all the time when the hookup happened, then ghosted each other. But then started chatting on occasion, aka looking for dick, I'd assume. She's admitted she's reached out to him in the past. But he's been the one lately. What really sucks? She tells me everything with us and our family has been great. October was when they last chatted. We just got back from a summer camping trip and we're planning a couple's vacation at an all-inclusive. Wild. She's responsible for getting us scheduled for a couple's counseling session. I'm going to start calling divorce attorneys. It's going to break my heart when it comes to the kids. But I can't stomach the idea of my wife cheating on me at all, let alone a third of our marriage. She's already said, let's see how long she holds up to her end, that she'd never try to mess with me about the kids. But still, being very cautious because they're my reason for living at the moment.